Alright, so welcome back to another Call of the Wild video. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to track animals. I know this is a topic that a lot of newer players really struggle with, and I was one of those players. Once you progress into the game a little bit and unlock some skills and perks, and once you do it so many times, you really just start to get good at it. If you didn't see my last noob guide video, which was going over the 243, which is the beginner rifle that you start out with, I also explained some shot placement in that video. That way you can take better shots and bring your animals down much faster. But up ahead of me here, I do have a red deer. I'm going to purposely make a bad shot on this thing. That way it runs off. And I'm going to show you the different type of blood types and all that stuff that you can get when tracking an animal. I'm going to try and make this video short and sweet because that's what I want to do with these noob guide videos. I want to make it short and sweet, but also really informative. All right, here is our target here. We're gonna go ahead and just shoot him like right there. That's gonna be a pretty bad shot most likely, and he is just running off. Remember, I know in real life I would never do that. This is just a video game. These animals do not have feelings. They are literally pixels on a screen. I've had comments before, oh, why would you do that to an animal, poor thing. It's just a video game, people. Calm down. I had to clear that up. I know it's silly. Why would you even need to say that, but some people are just a little too weird like that. But anyways, so you can see we have our blood track right here. Before we get any further, I'm going to show you some of my skills here, or yeah, these are skills. So you want to go to Stalker. Stalker is going to be basically your tracking skills, and then Ambusher is going to be your spotting skills. I'm going to make a whole video coming soon talking about the best perks / skills. So I'm going to talk about a few of these skills really quick. So locate tracks, I have this one maxed out. This is the tracking cone becomes more accurate and narrow, increases the distance at which tracks are visible. That one's very important. And the directional tracking cone is now even narrower, and tracks can be detected even farther away. So this one's very important because it's going to give you a more accurate arrow. I'll show you that in just a second. And also you're going to be able to see tracks very far away instead of just 10 yards around you. You'll be able to see them way off in the distance, and you'll be able to see them really easily. So track knowledge here reveals information about an animal's gender when investigating footsteps. I have this one maxed out as well. Reveals information about approximate animal group size. So that one's not super important, but I would definitely go for this one. But everyone, whenever you're first starting out, will be able to tell what kind of blood splatter you have. So it's, of course, I made a bad shot there, so I have a no organs hit, and it's fresh. So that's not a good sign, and that means this animal is just going to run off, and it's not going to die at all. We'll be able to find this thing again if we keep tracking it. And what I was talking about, the arrow, you can see when I pick up this track, it shows this cone. Whenever you first start playing, that arrow is much wider on each side, and you can't really tell exactly which direction it's heading. As I continue following the track, you can see I have bleed rate very low, and that's not good because obviously I made a bad shot. If you check your map, you can see that wherever you started, you'll have a little trail here, and every time you pick up more and more tracks, like I'm going to do so now, I'll pick up even more little thingies. And that also comes with one of these skills here, which is called Connect the Dots. Each time a track is investigated, a trail line is automatically drawn. So I don't think whenever you're first starting out, you'll have the line, but you will have the indicators here, the little icons. I don't ever really use that often, but for new players, it might be helpful. You can also open up your hunter mate. You can see it there. But since I made a bad shot, I have very low bleed rate. This animal is going to move on forever. Basically, since I got no organs hit, it's not going to die, and I will be able to find this animal once again if I ever come across it, and it will be alive. You'll probably see it limping around or whatever, and you'll be able to shoot it again. But that's if you make a bad shot. There really isn't much to the tracking. Another really useful tracking tip is to make sure you have your active track colors changed. I normally leave the inactive track colors white. It just depends on what map you're playing, because every map has different terrain color. But on Hirschfelden, I like to use Hollywood Ceres. I believe I'm saying that right, and I just like to leave the inactive track color as white. That way you can see how easily that stands out here in this green like environment with the vegetation. And I always leave the particle effect on, as you can see how it kind of particles and does all that fancy looking stuff. So make sure you leave those on, because that's going to be a big help when you're tracking animals. So whenever you shoot an animal, just pay attention to which way it's running off, pay attention to where you shoot it from, and just run up and get that first track, you might want to check the map, see where you are. That way you can remember a starting point. That way if you ever get lost and you lose the track, you can just come right back and kind of retrace your steps. What I'm going to go do now is take a much better shot on an animal. That way it'll actually go down and we'll track it from there. Yep, he's going down. You can see up there in the top right corner, he is 50 to 75. If you're a new player, you won't really have that, but you can see he is dying. And I remembered that I shot him somewhere around here, so let's go check it out. All right, so here is where I made the first shot. You can see that blood little splatter is much bigger. We should be able to examine it, and we did get a non-vital organ hit, which is good. It's not great, it's not ideal, but it's non-vital, which is basically like stomach and intestines, things like that. I'm pretty sure intestines isn't a vital, or at least they count that as not a vital in this game. Basically a vital is like liver, lung, heart, things like that. This isn't a bad thing. Your animal still will go down. You're not going to get the full score out of it. I'll show you that once we find this guy. Here's where I shot it, and now you can see the trail is leading this way. So basically I just want to follow the highlighted trail. And if you don't have the skills that I was showing you, obviously you won't be able to see those tracks that are way up there. You'll probably only be able to see about to there, most likely. I can't really remember, it's been a long time, but just keep your eye out. That's all you really got to do, and just keep heading in that direction. If you don't see something and it's telling you to go that way, maybe try and loop around this way and then make a loop back and try and figure out the area. Now you can see my bleed rate is low. That means I didn't make a great shot, which I know I didn't, and my tracks are still heading this way, so I'm going to follow this guy. I'm still getting blood. You want to pick up basically every track you can see that's highlighted. That way if you are following this little line here, if you do end up getting your tracks mixed up, you can know exactly which way you came from. Alright, let's continue following this, and let's go find our red deer. Oh, and there he is. You can see the beautiful highlight effect is helping us out, and you can see this thing is pointing this way, but our deer's over there. That's because he has looped around like that, and that's kind of tricky. You might get caught off guard, especially if you don't have the skill where you can see tracks farther away. That would definitely confuse somebody. You can't really see tracks anywhere close until you get up here. You just got to be careful. You just got to make sure you're paying attention, and you'll be able to find your animals as long as you're taking good shots too. But here we go, confirmed trophy. You can see I didn't make a vital organ hit. I hit him in the intestines, so we didn't get that check, so I won't get the full score out of this guy. So hopefully that helps some of you out. I don't really know any other way to explain tracking in this game. It's really not too hard at all. They really made it pretty simple. So hopefully I helped you out as much as I can. Let me know if it did in the comment section down below. Let me know what else you guys would like to see videos on for noob guides. I'm going to start this new series. I might do one noob guide a week. So make sure to subscribe if you are a new player and you want to see and you want to learn more and more about this game, because there is a lot to learn. In my next one, I probably am going to be doing a best skill / perk guide. So be on the lookout for that. Thank you so much for watching. Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. It helps me out a bunch. And I'll see you all in the next one. Later.